Dragon Ball Legends is finally getting their equivalent to LRs in the game. Legendary Rares. Ultras. Yeah, this whole time we all thought that LFs, or I guess Legends Limited is technically what they're supposed to be called, were the LRs of the game, but turns out those are actually Dokkan Fests. In case you haven't known what I'm talking about, when Dokkan first launched, they had regular banners, and then introduced Dokkan Festivals, which had more unique units. You guys remember they had like the original STR Broly and stuff like that. Those were basically special banners that released like once a month, and look at the Legends, they release LS once a month because they are equivalent to Dokkan Fest in the game. Just turns out they're a bit harder to pull. But to be fair, looking back in the original days of Dokkan, SSRs used to be 3% chance. Remember, like I'm not even talking about like for the new units. I'm talking about like right now it's a 10% chance to pull an SSR, and technically it's guaranteed per multi, but it's 10% chance to pull an SSR in a multi, and it used to be 3, which means you could go hundreds of stones and not pull one. I'll never forget talking with D3 back in like year 1, and we were both excited to pull the blue Super Saiyan Tech Goku, the Tech Super Saiyan Blue Goku that like nukes within 800 stones. We were both so hyped, like, yo, I got 900 stones, I got 1 copy, let's go. Yeah, those are the original days. And when they introduced Dokkan Fest, it was like everything was just god awful as far as pull rates. Now, I'm not defending the awful pull rate for LFs. I hate it. You know, like, never forget 96,000 crystals to get a single Super Vegito. That will haunt me forever. Lucky for me, I got a lot luckier with all the follow-up LFs after that. And I still feel like we're gonna get that one LF release, especially one that I'm going to be super excited for, where I'm going to summon for it and just not pull it. It's gonna happen one day. So now we have Ultras on top of that. How do I feel about it? Honestly, I'll give you the real answer. I think the concept of Ultras is very, very dope right now. It is very, very dope. And the main reason why is because it's going to be free for now. That Goku that they showed off, as beautiful as it looks, that's a free unit. Anybody will be able to get it. I feel like what we shouldn't be doing right now is getting angry about something that hasn't happened yet, because for all we know, by the time we get the first Summoner Ultra unit, it's not going to have anywhere near the same rates as it is right now in the game. For all we know, by the time that happens, LFs will be 1%, regular Sparkings will be like 2%, and then we'll probably get to the point where Ultras are like 0.5%, basically replacing LFs. If that happens, I mean, sure, that's not technically bad. I'm not going to enjoy summoning for it, because right now I hate summoning for LFs in the first place because of the rates, but I feel like that will be technically fair. I don't think we're going to get to the point where Ultras, when it gets to the point they are summonable, they're going to be like 0.00001% chance to pull, because at that point, even the Legends teams knows they can't do that. Watch me eat my words a year from now when we get the first Ultra unit that's summonable. I hope that doesn't happen. Not the summonable part, but it being that low to pull. It's obviously going to be difficult. I mean, if you guys remember, originally LRs were never meant to be those units that you're supposed to chase for. You're supposed to just summon for whatever banner was out there. And when LR popped up, you're just always like, what? Even back in the day, they didn't even announce when an LR came out. They would just always release these random ass banner, and they would just sneak a new unit in there. And when you pull, you'd be like, what the hell is this? Wait, it can Dokkan, it can awaken twice, and you get an LR. That's how LRs were introduced in the game. But still, I mean, people are going to hunt end of the day. They're going to pull for it. They're going to try to basically pull these new units, and that's what ends up happening. So it's like, when it comes down to play any gacha game, you have to play responsibly. You have to know to not chase units, especially once they have low rates, because next thing you know, you're looking at this huge credit card debt that you're just like, why did I do this? But no, the whole point of this video is I kind of want to just talk about the concept of Ultras. I think what they're doing right now is pretty dope, and by the sounds of it, we're not going to get the first summonable Ultra unit. I keep wanting to say LF. We're not going to get the first summonable unit until maybe next year. It sounds like they have like 2, 3, potentially 4 Ultras that they want to release first for free, where any player can get it as long as they grind for it, and I think that's fine. It's content. Like, this is what we kind of been wanting in the game. It's content that you have to grind for. Now, the grinding part might be annoying, but again, that's the whole point. You know, you're supposed to just kind of work for it over time. If you guys remember the original LR and Dokkan, and they still do this with Primes technically, took 777 medals to unlock. And that was back then before they even had like boosted medal rates and stuff like that. It would take like, what, 2 weeks to a month to get your unit awoken to LR state. Yeah, no, that wasn't fun. I didn't even do it. Originally when I said, I'm like, nope, not doing it, I'm good. I didn't awaken my Goku until they had like the special events for boosts and stuff like that that introduced way later. But yeah, it sounds like they're gonna do something similar in Legends, where they want you to grind for it. They want you to feel like you work for this, and you unlock the stars, you got the Z powers, and you're able to basically eat from the fruits of your labor by going online and beating up people with all these fancy animations. That's the whole point, and I think that's dope. I think giving us this kind of content to work for in the long run is really dope to the game. We should not get mad yet. Like, I feel like until they actually mess up, we shouldn't get mad at something that hasn't happened yet. I mean, you should always still critique them. Anytime they do any updates to the game or launches to new units or stuff like that, or to change the banner systems, it's always very, very healthy to critique them. You can tweet them, you can leave it in the comments of the YouTubers that talk to them. You can always like leave some kind of information, let them know like, hey, I'm happy with this, I'm not happy with this. I even posted a poll. At the time you recorded this video, it was like 80% were pro Ultra units, 20% were worried. And I don't know, by the time I post the actual results, but by the time I record this video, it's gonna be different. It seemed the majority of the people that saw that poll were like, yeah, this is dope, I'm down for it, I'm excited, you know? Now again, when Ultras become summonable, and we see that and we're just like 0.001% chance, yeah, that ain't gonna fly. That's when we, you know, hit them. That's when we hit them with the feedback. That's when we hit them with the comments and just the never-ending stream of words, messages from us saying, hey, don't do this. Oh, and just to clarify, we should also be telling them that right now, like, hey, at DB_legends, please, when you make these summonals, don't make them atrocious to pull. We should definitely be telling them that right now. What I'm saying here, what we shouldn't do is get angry and just be upset or something that hasn't happened yet, you know, overreact like, I'm quitting the game. It hasn't happened yet. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's kind of unhealthy to get mad about something that hasn't happened yet. I even see people saying like, I'm going to quit. I'm like, it hasn't happened yet. They announced they're giving you free units. There's no reason to quit for that yet. Yet. Again, once they mess up, sure. But that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of like, I see this a lot actually with a lot of games. People always tend to just jump to conclusions where a company or developer is going to do something and then they end up not doing that. And then it's like, oh, well, they didn't do it. Well, I was mad for nothing. You basically spent all that time building up all this negative energy and it was all for nothing. Like, wait for them to actually screw up is basically what I'm trying to say. Are they going to screw up? Probably. I mean, it's Legends. You know, they tend to do this thing where they're like doing a bunch of good stuff and then they come crashing down because they realize, hey, we've been doing too many good updates. Let's stop doing that for a second. And when that happens, that's when we tell them like, hey, don't do that, and then they can just start doing this again. This has been basically what the game's been doing in the last 2 going to 3 years of the game. Like, I mean, it's not the healthiest thing, you know. I feel like a lot of times they don't know what they're doing when they make these bad decisions. They think like, oh, this will work out, and then a lot of people end up being angry about it. But a lot of times, you know, something that people don't give them credit for is they do fix a lot of the issues that have been plaguing the game. And a lot of times people say they never listen, which is bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. If you've been playing the game, especially if you've been playing the game since day one, you've seen a lot of good changes that this game has made. You've seen a lot of balance as well, but you've seen a lot of good changes that this game has made. And to say that they don't listen is just, it's bullshit. Let's be real. But in regards to this whole Ultra fiasco, I'm honestly excited. You know, the unit looks fantastic. The fact that the cards themselves are animated too is really dope to me. It's they're literally LRs from Dokkan in Legends format. I think it's cool. You know, and I'm excited to see what the next couple Ultras are going to be. I'm excited to play for, like, it gives you something to strive for, something to do. Now, it sounds like the grind is going to be kind of awful, which is, again, it's fine, but I guess something to remember is you're not supposed to get these overnight. A lot of times people will see something like that and be like, I'm supposed to do this right now? I hate this. You're supposed to do it over time, so just kind of keep that in mind as we go into the release of these units. I'm going to assume that they're probably going to drop this for year 1, which is coming, or year 3, which is coming up in like a month, end of May / early June. So just get ready then. But basically the whole point of this video is to not get angry about something that hasn't happened yet, because everything that we saw in that video and stuff was dope. One, I like the fact that they kind of showed, you know, more personality of the developers by having them fight each other, and that was really cool. Like, you know, the fact that they eat their own cooking is dope. Like, if you're not gonna eat your own cooking, how do you expect others to do it? And I like the fact that they're that into the game that they all actually know how to play and to do stuff like that. It's fun. Unless, of course, they make you play upside down. Then when they beat you after practicing, they brag about it. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm glad Toshi beat you. I'm just pointing out. I'm glad Toshi beat you in that video and stuff. And then, of course, when they actually announced the news, which was the Ultra unit on top of the Goku and Hit coming out, I thought that was a very, very solid video and stuff. And I want to see more stuff like that in the future. I think it's dope. Although I was kind of hoping that by the time we got to the last fight, maybe like an exhibition, I wish they would have done it like they did with year 1 when they had Vegeta revealed, where, I don't know, maybe Toshi or somebody else on the team was like, hey, now you gotta fight me now, and they busted out the new Goku, and then seeing that right there in person, like live, would have been insane. But yeah, overall, I just kind of want to make this video to talk about Ultras. I'm not worried. I think it's dope, because again, it's free. You know, you shouldn't panic and get angry or something that hasn't happened yet. When it happens, sure. And it might never happen. For all we know, like I said, I have a theory that I feel like by the time Ultras become summonable, they're probably going to replace the rates for actual LFs today. So they'll probably be like 0.5%, maybe 0.25%. I don't think we're ever going to see it go worse than that. I hope it's not 0.25%. I want it to be like 0.5 at worst. But if it's 0.25, I won't be completely upset because I'm gonna just be like, oh, but yeah, that was basically how LFs used to be. Maybe if they do better banners around it, where it's not as atrocious to pull, or maybe they give you more. What if they give you more Z power if you pull it? So instead of it being like pulled at like 600 Z power, you get like at, I don't know, 3,000 Z power or something like that. That way you don't have to pull it as often to make it usable in PvP. They could do stuff like that. Like I said, we have no idea what they're planning, and I feel like even the Legends team doesn't know what they want to do. So I think it's important for the next year, before we get to the point where it is summonable, we give them all this information. You can tweet them maybe. You can, like I said, leave it in the comments of YouTubers or talk to them. I mean, I'm going to tell them right now, like, yo, what you need to do is, if these units are pulled, make them a higher Z power or something. Because the thing is, if they're going to be awful pull rates, no one wants to pull on it 1,000 times before it's usable. Like because you want to get to at least like 3, 4, 5, 6 stars before it's like playable in PvP. And then the other question is how is it going to be balanced? Like, is someone running Ultra units going to be like basically automatically washing Zenkais and LFs? We don't know yet. We don't know any of that stuff. But I'll tell you right now, being angry about the stuff that we don't know what's going to happen is not healthy. And the best thing we can do, honestly, is just keep sending them feedback. And then once they actually announce that stuff is going to work, then we react then. So yeah, for now, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Like, this whole Ultra concept for free for everybody's dope. Like, we have stuff to do. Yeah, we wanted content. This is content. I think this is great. Oh God, there's still one part of me that's like, man, if I see the first Ultra unit come out and I see it be like 0.0000001% chance, I am swinging. I'm quitting the game. That happens then. But for now, like I said, think of the positives and hope that they actually do this right when we get to that point. Again, it's like a whole year away. Again, I think before Dokkan released Gohan, they gave us what? They gave us Goku, they gave us the androids, they gave us Piccolo, and they gave us what? Frieza, right? And then the first summon unit was Gohan. So we had that many for free before LRs basically became like prevalent in the game. And on top of that, sounds like when we get to the point where Ultras are going to be summonable, even right now, it's going to take months and months and months before we see the next unit. So it's not going to get that situation where we'll see them basically on a monthly basis like we are seeing with LFs. If we get to that point, which I feel like could happen in the 6th-year anniversary, because I mean, Dokkan got to the point where they were dropping LRs once every couple months, to the point where it is like 2 per month now. Then we can probably be all like, hey, yeah, I got to tone it down, or yeah, I got to fix it. But for right now, the way everything is now, I think it's fine. And I hope it stays that way. I mean, you never know. Like I said, Legends, they tend to do a lot of cool stuff, then they screw it up, then do a lot of cool stuff again, they screw it up. But at the end of the day, they are always striving to improve, which to me is very, very dope. So yeah. With that said, let me know your thoughts about the whole Ultra unit. Also, if you made it this far in the video, I want you guys to guess what you guys think, who you think is going to be the next unit that's going to be basically an Ultra. Try to basically guess it. Are they going to follow the same path that we saw in Dokkan, where it's going to be androids, Piccolo, and Pod Frieza, and then we're going to get to Gohan, or what? But give me your best guesses down below. I love the animations. I think they absolutely killed it. The fact that they have basically intros now and everything is very, very dope. And I want to see what else they do. I mean, it's... Until we play with a handful of Ultras, it's kind of hard to see how different they're going to be from LFs. But for right now, the entire concept looks cool. I'm excited. I think it's going to be refreshing for the game. And until we get to the point where they're actually doing it wrong, it's a good sign for the game. That makes sense. Again, once we get to the point where we see those horrible rates or they've done screwed up, that's when we get the pitchforks and torches. But for now, I think what they're doing is dope. So yeah. I'm going to end the video right here. Again, let me know your thoughts, everything to discuss down below. Give me your best guesses at the next Ultra unit. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Peace.